What about my love? Wasn't it enough? Just let me know so I can...
All right, Sora,
No.
your
Oh, no,
takeaway from this week?
Yeah, so my top takeaway is Dabo and Clemson are no longer the top team in the ACC.
This is the ACC show this week, huh?
Yeah,
I guess so.
which was kind of ironic because that was one of the last like predictions we did.
Yeah.
I mean, we've seen, ever since Deshaun Watson left and ever since Trevor Lawrence left, we've seen Dabo and Clemson struggle
Yep.
to bring in offensive talent and also produce offensive talent. Look at DJU in his first game with Oregon State. 20 for 25, 239 yards, and 3 touchdowns with an 80% completion. Besides that Notre Dame game where you didn't see Trevor Lawrence due to COVID, that was the last time we really saw DJU kind of like that. This is the DJU that Dante, that myself, and that coach have been waiting to see for years, and we're finally seeing it.
Yeah.
And again, much like how it was in Clemson back in 2016 to 2018, they had weapons all around. You look at like with what's his face? You look at it with T. Higgins. They had the offense where they didn't even really need Trevor Lawrence. You could have put any quarterback in there. They had that much weapons. And to quote Fishin, when your best receiving weapon is a running back, you're in trouble there.
You are. Look at last year's Bama squad.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's some interesting statistics on Clemson here that I pulled. Won last 7 out of 8 ACC championships.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Since 2014, has only lost 2 season openers, and both were to Georgia before they lost to Duke.
Yeah.
To be fair,
And-
Georgia's Georgia.
Oh,
And Fishin, I'm also
that's why it
glad
makes this
that
interesting.
Yeah.
And even then, it was like a 10-3 game.
Yeah.
The final
that was
one. Like, it was all a defensive battle. If you had had any lick of offense, they would have beaten that and potentially would have killed a dynasty right then and there. In
Oh,
Georgia.
they beat Georgia? Yeah. That
And
Georgia
again, I'm
would've
glad
never-
Fishin says this. It all starts with Dabo needs to adapt to the transfer portal.
Mhm.
I mean, that's really where it all starts with. You're telling me Dabo couldn't have potentially pulled Keon away from Florida State?
But we did just say that a lot of the mistakes happen on the players, not of his play calling.
Yeah.
And while you are correct of that, it still doesn't make sense that DJU, a guy that people were just like, man, this guy's just not good. He goes to Oregon State and he immediately looks really, really good. There's got to be a disconnect in there somewhere. And until that disconnect is fixed, Clemson's no longer going to be a top team. When you got up-and-coming teams like Duke, you've got Florida State. You can argue NC State. I mean, we all thought they were going to take a step back. And yes, South Carolina is not that good of a team, but they still handled the business.
You mean North Carolina, not NC State?
Correct. Sorry. Yes, North Carolina.
I was like, huh?
Awesome. When they're both NC.
And Rhoda's in there.
I saw that. I saw that.
Hold
I
on.
saw that.
You know, we gotta do this for my boy Vic, man. We gotta
Shout
do
out
this
to
for
Vic.
my
Big tube.
we gotta do this for my boy Vic. One time for the one time. Hold on, so that we can hear it too. Look at his face. This is how
This is how we were all watching the Clemson Duke game last night.
Yep.
You guys.
Hayden, I was with you.
In there. Getting the Big Ten. And
Find out soon enough.
Right. Sorry, you should feel bad for Jeff. You left him there with me to be obnoxious and annoying. What what's
Listen, I was with you in saying it was a close game. I just didn't think they had the depth.
You
on
left here in the close game, but man, when that thing started going,
Yeah.
just running away with
it was me. I was responsible. I'm sorry.
you feel bad for Jeff. That's all I'm gonna say.
Hey,
He
all
heard
we gotta
me
do
going
is
out,
say
right?
shout out to one man for making Clemson just look absolutely stupid. And he didn't even play in the game. Story already mentioned. Durag DJ.
Durag. I should have said Durag DJ. I'm so upset I didn't say Durag DJ.
I'm gonna call him that all year
Damn
long
it.
now.
Yeah, that's so much easier to say than his full name.
Durag DJ. We're
Maybe that's just
people
the
to the channel
problem.
are gonna be like, What? Who's this do-right DJ?
Do-Rag DJ, get your shirts. They on the store right now.
Hey, bro, I gotta get a Stack Guru shirt because he the man.
But that was our takeaways from week 1, man. Appreciate these guys making it ACC week because you know it feels.
We didn't even plan it. I didn't even talk to Hayden.